Hi, welcome to Tech Tips and Tech Stuff. My name is Ron, and today is Friday, and we talk about tech stuff on Friday. And what I wanted to do for today was I wanted to show you where I work. This is where I work, SiliconInvestor.com. This is the .com company I work for. Silicon Investor was started back in 1995 by Brad and Jeff Dreyer. And when they started the site, it just took off immediately, just a massive success. There's hundreds and hundreds of people every day were signing up to the site, getting on it, because they want to talk about tech stocks back then. And everything was just booming. The tech sector was booming, and everyone was making piles of money in the stock market back then. And everyone wanted a place to gather and chat about stocks and give tips to each other, different strategies about investing. And Silicon Investor was the place to be. If you were in the stock market back in the 90s, Silicon Investor was the place to be, period. The site took off just massive success in the 3 years they owned it. In 1998, they sold it to GoToNet for $33 million in stock. Brad and Jeff Dreyer worked for GoToNet for a while, and they actually ended up retiring very wealthy men. I started working for the company in 2011. It went through a number of changes over the years. A number of owners were sold and then bought a number of owners. But back in 2011, Brad Dreyer, the original founder of the site, bought it back. And I contacted him and I said, Brad, do you need somebody to help run your site? And he said, sure. So in July of 2011, I landed my dream job. I always wanted to get involved in something to do with the internet, and that's what exactly happened. I got hired as administrator for Silicon Investor, and it was just awesome. It was a dream come true. I spent most of my life in the automotive industry for 28 years, and when I first joined up with Silicon Investor, it was back in 1997. I joined up because I was involved in the stock, and this is the place to talk about this stock with Silicon Investor. And when I was on the site, there's so much more than just stocks. There's people on there talking about all kinds of subjects, politics. We had a coffee shop, it was called, and now it's called Pastimes, where you could talk about any subject you wanted. And it was an extremely popular place to be. And I was addicted to the site. At work, I had a dial-up connection on my laptop at work. And home, back then it was dial-up. And then after that, it became broadband after a while. But I was on the site continuously. Every time I got back into the office from work, I checked to make sure I had any new messages on Silicon Investor, new messages. And after I come home, after work was done, I'd be on Silicon Investor all night, talking with people and chatting with people. It was just a great place to hang out. There's a number of very well-known people that were former members of Silicon Investor. One member, he started out with $3 million in 1995. 96 he joined Silicon Investor, and he turned after 20 years, he turned that $3 million into a $17.5 billion hedge fund. He's a billionaire, and he started out on Silicon Investor. There's been a number of notorious people and famous people on Silicon Investor too. Anthony Elgindy was a notorious member of Silicon Investor, got himself in trouble with the FBI and ended up in prison for a number of years. But he was featured on CNBC's, I can't remember what the show was called, American Greed. That's what it was. And they had a 1-hour documentary on Anthony Elgindy, and he mentioned Silicon Investor in there as well. That's where he joined up and got a following of people, and he started his own site. But that's a long story what happened there. He ended up getting in trouble with the FBI and landing up in prison for a long time. And actually, once he got out of prison, unfortunately, he committed suicide. Not sure why, but he just committed suicide. But getting back to me and Silicon Investor, back in July 2011, I landed my dream job working for a .com company, which I've always wanted to do ever since I got involved in computers back in the 80s. I wanted to do something with computers. And I landed up on Silicon Investor in 2011, my dream job. I just absolutely loved it. And that's what I do full-time now. It's work for Silicon Investor. So when you join up Silicon Investor, it's 100% free. There's no like when you see different things, you see a YouTube advertisement, something free. But if you want to get the full experience for it, you have to pay for it. It's not the same as, that's not what Silicon Investor is all about. When you join up Silicon Investor, all our revenue is based on ad revenue. So it's all based on ad revenue. So we ask that people with ad blockers, if they're a member of Silicon Investor, to please disable those ad blockers and support the site by showing ads, because that's what pays me and keeps the lights on so we can operate Silicon Investor. So Silicon Investor, if you're involved in the stock market, Silicon Investor is the place to be to talk about stocks, because there are so many people. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of members all around the world with millions and millions of posts over the years. And you can talk about any kind of stock you want. If you're not into stocks, you can talk about politics or other topics. But Silicon Investor is based around stocks. And these are some of the stocks on our site. I'll just show you some of them here. And we have quotes and news for the stocks as well. So technology stocks, biotech stocks, non-tech, gold, mining, energy, microcap, strategies, this is just my test account I'm using here. This is not my actual admin account, just my test account I set up for doing different tests on the site. But if you find a subject you like, actually let's go back to the home page here and I'll show you how to add a subject. Say you want to go with this one here. Don Wolochuk was actually a very popular market analyst who was on a show in Canada. We had a radio show in Canada called Money Talks, and he was a popular guest on Money Talks every Saturday, where they talk about Valence technology. They had this new type of special type of lithium battery that was not subjected to thermal runaway like ordinary lithium batteries, and that's what he was promoting on the show always was Valence technology, that stock, and he was on the radio quite often. His name is Don Wolochuk. So say we wanted to watch his board. So all you have to do is click Add Subject Mark. Then you go to Subjects. Now it's just here. So anytime there's new messages, you'll see automatically will update if there's new messages. Right now it's real quiet. At night it's very quiet. At night, during the day it's very, very busy during the day, but at night it's very quiet. People aren't talking that much at night. People marks, I have myself people marked, but if you're following somebody, say you want to follow Don, go to his site here, click on his profile, add people mark. So now we're following Don. So any new messages Don has will show up here, and we can go and check out and see what he's talking about. But I just wanted to show you guys where I work. This is where I work, SiliconInvestor.com. That's what I do for my full-time day job. And part-time, I do YouTube. But this is where I make my bread and butter, is SiliconInvestor.com. And like I said, it's a dream job. I've always wanted to get involved in something to do with the internet. And when this opportunity came along, I just could not believe I actually landed the job and got to fulfill my dream of working with computers and on the internet. So it's just absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to share with you the site I work for. It's a great site. There's like I said, there's no strings attached. Just join up. If you're involved in the stock markets, this is the place to be. All you have to do is just please, if you're running an ad blocker, please don't use any ad blockers on our site, because that's how we make money on the site, is through Google AdSense. So once again, I just wanted to share with you where I work. This is at SiliconInvestor.com. Hopefully for many, many years, I'll be still working for the company as well. So that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. New videos every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So once again, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. As always, thank you for watching.